Okay. It's been a little while since I jumped on here. I think it's been like six or 7 months now since I last posted a video. For any of you that are still here that follow me, thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate your support and watching my videos, and I hope that you can get something from tuning in onto my journey as a filmmaker and what I have to share. It's safe to say that these last 6 months have been probably the most impactful 6 months of my life, I'd say. As per why I needed to take a step back from producing so much content. I think the last time I put a video up on here, it was part of a weekly series. What was it? The Weekly Life of a Filmmaker. And that lasted 2 weeks, which was pretty funny because, yeah, that just wasn't the right method to go about what I want to do and what I want to make this channel. The whole point and purpose of this channel is to show the way that I'm growing as a person and a filmmaker, and doing something so consistently literally just eliminates the growth in my life. You know, if I'm focusing on putting content out all the time, I'm not focusing on the things in my life that are bettering myself, whether it's going on trips, whether that's reading, whether that's writing, whether that's getting important things in my life right before putting content out. The way that I want to approach this time is by doing what I'm doing now, taking my time between uploads and really sharing the changes that I've been able to go through in my life. I just want to dive into the last 6 months in my life of what's been going on, the trips I've had, the changes I've made in my life, and everything that's kind of led me up to coming back here and getting back on YouTube and what's coming forward. So that's what I'm going to cover in this video. Let's get into it. I guess the first thing that I can share about my personal life is I've fallen in love. I've met an amazing girl named Shana, and she is everything that I want and more. She's just super, super loving, and it's been amazing to spend the last 6 months just being offline a little bit more, spending time with her and also spending time with myself. And I think that meeting someone that's so aligned to me and loves the same things that I love, she's a creative as well, she loves spending time in nature, quite like myself. It just really fills me with fulfillment in a lot of ways that I was chasing before when I was just prioritizing work and things like that. And so I think she slowed me down in the best way. Not to the point where I'm not progressing at my goals or anything like that, but it's just kind of brought me more presence. Another thing that's gone down is I've moved houses 2 times, I think, since the last video I uploaded. Life's been quite transient here in Byron. I've lived with a few mates over the last 6 months, and I think I've finally found my place to settle for at least the next year. I know that I travel a lot as a filmmaker and a creative, so it's good to have a place that I can just come back to and be able to relax and recharge in between everything. And to dive a little deeper into myself personally, I've done a lot of growing this year. There was a big period at the start of this year that I was just kind of nose to the grindstone working on creative projects, working on things like mentorship and courses and such. And I think I actually lost myself in the process of all this work. That was a very quick period of my life because I was just go. And as a workaholic, that filled my cup. But as I slowly started to fall out, or I guess you could say burn out, at the end of January this year, I realized that life is a lot more about your experience and the enjoyment that you get from doing things and less about the outcome. And I think that was a big takeaway that I'm going to get into a little bit more in this video that kind of wraps up into what I'm doing now. But yeah, this year, to put it simply, started off as a whirlwind. This season's also been a big change in the direction of ways that I've been heading. I mean, I've always wanted to be a documentary filmmaker, but more and more I've been feeding into why and how that looks, especially in my life. And I think that a lot of the time, the projects that I keep coming back to, the ones that are on my vision board that I want to create, they all have to do with the natural world. I really am obsessed with the direct connection we have as humans to the natural world, and that's always going to be present in my life. And I think with the years, that's going to occur more and more, and I'm going to learn more about the world. And I think, yeah, it's just something that I really love, and I love to share stories about people that are deeply connected to the natural world, which is why I enjoy traveling to such exotic places around the world to try and capture the different lifestyles and livelihoods of people that are connected in different ways to the planet. And yeah, that's just a big passion in my life. And as things unfold, as my career progresses, I really see that getting more and more prevalent in the projects that I take on and the things that I shoot. To give you some examples of these projects that mean a lot to me, I want to dive into partly the reason why I wanted to jump back into this channel. And that's because I've been shooting a lot behind the scenes these past few months. There's going to be videos coming out, full film projects on this channel, as well as behind the scenes breakdowns of how I've shot all these videos and why I've decided to shoot these projects. To give you a quick summary of these projects, we've got a project that I shot in Sumatra. That one was to do with a local jungle guide over there that's deeply connected to nature and what it was like for him to grow up in the jungle. A second project that I shot in the last little while was a project over in Kenya. That was a project with a foundation called No Taps to basically help them raise funds to provide clean drinking water to the communities over there. That for me was a really eye-opening project in so many ways. And long story short, it was a project that I really feel like I had to be a part of as soon as I got contacted by this foundation to come and help produce a film that's going to obviously raise awareness for these people in need. And the next thing I wanted to jump on here and communicate was the launch of something I've been working on for a long time, which I spoke about briefly just before. And this is my filmmaking community. Now, for the longest time, I've wanted to create a space for purposeful filmmakers to come together and discuss ideas, projects, philosophy, just everything to do with what it really means to be a filmmaker and why you want to create the project in the first place. I think for the longest time, I've always wanted to share a little bit more about how my mind works when approaching projects and the overall belief systems that I have when it comes to choosing what projects to do and how to actually use what I have in my head, in my heart, to bring these things to life, to really feel these projects out and bring them into the world in a way that's aligned to me. There's a lot of people that can benefit from learning the why and the reasoning behind the films that we create. And I really want to create a space that allows more of you to come and connect with me on a more personal level and learn from me in different ways that can guide you to your journey as a filmmaker yourself. So I've launched a community called Inner Vision. Now at the moment it's just an Instagram page, but it's slowly going to build out. We're going to have a group chat, a community, a school community, and eventually I'm going to be pouring my own energy and time into producing some really tailored courses for you guys to go through and learn specifically how and why I approach the work that I do and the fulfillment that I get from doing what I do. Because I feel there's a lot of different aspects of creativity and sometimes people can get lost in the journey and the chase to make it. And in my opinion, there's two kinds of make it. You can make it from like a monetary status and you can obviously make a good living from being a video creator, but the second make it that I would consider even more beneficial in your life is the fulfillment aspect, you know, like being able to create projects that you really believe in, that you feel and you appreciate. And so I really want to foster a community that values true, raw, authentic projects. And this is something that I'm working on at the moment. So there's going to be a link down below to the Instagram. I'm going to be building out a lot more to do with that. So Inner Vision is coming to life in real time. I just wanted to update you as I'm building it. But yeah, if you're still here, if you're watching along and watching my journey as a filmmaker and a creative, thank you so much. I hope that wherever you're at in your journey, you can learn something, hopefully take some stuff away from what I'm sharing. I think there's a lot of good people in the world, and my number one goal as a filmmaker is simply to shine the light on these people. I think that it's a big blessing to be able to be a filmmaker, because not only do you have the ability to tell your own story, but you also have the ability to tell the stories of other people, and I think I don't want to take that for granted. So I mean, that's why my biggest passion is documentary filmmaking, and I'm going to continually want to look for stories and go and tell people's stories. But yeah, for now, if you're enjoying this, please give me a like, give me a subscribe, whatever it takes to try and help me on this journey. And yeah, I hope to be able to provide value to you in any way. So if you have any questions or anything to do with filmmaking at all, please don't hesitate to hit me up, and I'll see you in the next one.